What's up, guys? I'm here dropping another video for Savvy Investments. Today I'll be going over the spreadsheet that I sent you guys, I believe, yesterday. I'm going to be covering how I use this spreadsheet and how I apply it to myself when I'm looking into dividend shares. I did a little bit of playing around with the spreadsheet today, so I actually added some definitions in here and it pretty much got everything ready for you guys so I can just access quickly. Alright, and let's go ahead and jump into it. So, first thing we're going to go over are these tabs up here. So let's go over what a stock is. So a stock is an investment that represents an ownership share in a company. What that means is when you invest in a stock, you become a owner in that company, but a very, very small fraction of an owner of that company. So if you would invest in Walmart, then you are now an owner of Walmart. Congratulations, but very, very small. Let's see. So for the example I'll be using today is going to be Chevron, which the ticker symbol is CVX. And as you can see here, I already have some other ones set up, but that was what I just had previously, and I just erased some of this so you can see how I used this. Let's see here. Alright, so let's see what the price of Chevron is right now. The price of Chevron is $89.26, $89.26. 89.26, perfect. Okay, so just to make sure you guys know what the price is a reflection of a company's value, which means where the company is valued at. So, pretty much the higher the stock, the higher the value of the company. And what the public is willing to pay for a piece of the company, okay? As you know, stocks are being traded daily. The more people are buying in, the higher the price is going to go up. Okay, that's why people like to look for the next big thing by looking in cheaper. For example, NEO. If you got in under $20, you are now sitting up at a pretty good profit where it's at right now. I believe around $57, $56. Okay, now let's go ahead and move forward to the next tab, which is dividend yields. Dividend yield is a percentage of a financial ratio that shows how much a company pays out each year relative to its stock price. One thing I want to make sure I cover in this video is that if a dividend yield is over 100%, a company is paying more dividends than its earnings can support. Okay, so if a company is paying more in dividends to its investors, yeah, that's good for you, but you're only going to have it for a short term because that company may go out of business. Typically, an average dividend yield that's good as a rating is between 4 and 6%. As you can see, these two are within that range. Below is actually a little higher, but it's still within the 6 range. So to me, I think that's a pretty fair one. And now let's go ahead and find Chevron's dividend yield. Let's see. You'll be able to find it right here. I like to use Yahoo Finance, so this pretty much gives me a lot of details on when I'm researching stocks. So let's see, their dividend yield is at 5.8%. Go ahead and write that down. So that's within the range, which is pretty good. And now we're going to move to the next tab, which is annual dividend. Annual dividend is actually a how much the stock pays in dollars, okay? So how much does Chevron pay in dollars? Which is going to be $5.00. Now I'm applying that to myself because when I look for dividend shares, I like to look for stuff that pays $3 and up. As you can see here, all these right here pay more than $3. The lowest one that pays is below. Highest one that pays is IBM. But that's how much the Chevron will pay for every share. Okay, so right here, let me just make sure I cover this. One stock of Chevron at $89.26. If you were to buy one of those shares, you will be receiving $5.16 quarterly, 4 times a year. Okay, if you were to buy 10 of that, you would be receiving $516 for that stock. quarterly, which is 4 years again. Okay, that's what's going to be. Stocks like to pay throughout quarters. Okay, so that's 4 times a year. Moving to the next one, let's go ahead and cover payout ratio. By the way, before I give you the definition, a good payout ratio is between 35 and 55%, I believe. Yep. Shows a percentage of a company's earnings paid out as dividends to shareholders. 35 and 55%. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what Chevron is payout ratio, their payout ratio. Okay. So if it's not on Yahoo Finance, I'll literally just type it in Google and it'll be the first thing that pops up, which Chevron's payout is 82.3%. Let's see, let's go ahead and write that down. Okay, so yeah, it's a little over, but I'm okay with that because of the annual dividend I'd be receiving, and I do plan on holding these stocks long term, and because of that, I'm okay with that. So let's get to the next tab of annual payout needed. Okay, so the annual payout needed is you, the investor, how much you want to receive each quarter from the stocks. Okay, so the amount of earnings you, the investor, would like to receive from a company's dividends. Okay, so for example, let's say every quarter I want to get paid $400 total from these 4 stocks. So that's $100 per stock. Okay, so I'll put $100 here. Let's see. All right, $100. Okay. Now these numbers popped up because I already have the formula saved and I only erased the first tab. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, and I already got the formulas for there. So, but back to the topic, right? So the annual payout needed, I want to get paid $400 per. I want to get paid $400 in dividends in total of my dividend investment. Okay. So let's find out how many shares I need in order to get $100 from Chevron. Okay. So what you're gonna do here is you can even come up here or right here. I typically like to use this. Well, I use both, but in this case I'll use the top so you can see. I'm gonna put the equal sign, and we're gonna go ahead and click on F2. We're gonna go ahead and divide that by the, I believe it is the share price. Ha! Just kidding. It is not. It is actually. Let me redo that. I'm gonna go ahead and do. Oh. Let's go ahead and put that back. It's not that one. It is, where's it at? Right there. Oh, come on, man. I'm gonna go ahead and erase that and put D. There we go. So the amount of shares needed is 19. You need to have 19 shares to receive $100. So basically what we did here is we divided the $100 that you want to receive from Chevron divided by the annual dividend, because the annual dividend is what's going to be paying you each quarter. Okay, so each quarter I will be receiving $100 from the 19 shares that I invested. So if I bought 19 shares and I want $100, you divide the 100 by the dividend, and then that's how you find the amount of shares needed. Okay. Now, the big question here is, what is the total investment needed for Chevron in order to know how much will I need to buy all these stocks to get this? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it. You're going to put the equal sign here, and now that we know how many shares we have, go ahead and click that. Multiply it by now the price, and that gives you $1,729.84. So with the rest of the stocks, they're already done, as you can see here. And at the bottom, I just summed it up. You can see up here, sum it up, and then just drag it down, and press enter, and it'll automatically calculate it for you. So in total, from all these 4 shares, in order for me to receive $400 quarterly, which is pretty good to me, I would need a one-time investment of $7,193.59, or, to round it up, $7,200. Okay, $7,200, which I would need to invest in evenly between, well, not evenly, but I'll need to invest between these 4 companies right there in order to receive my $400 quarterly. Okay, so when I say quarterly, I do mean that dividend shares pay each quarter. There are 4 quarters in a year. They're divided between 3 months. So the first 3 months, then the second 3 months, or the second half 3 months, third half 3 months, and then the final 3 months within the year. Okay, that's how you get that. I got the graph right here, which automatically adjusts to my table up here. The reason why I have these graphs is to have a visual representation of how much I need and which stock needs the most. Also because I just think graphs are pretty cool, so I have that here. And I like to look at them, and it makes me feel fancy. Okay, I wouldn't be a savvy investor if I didn't have these graphs. Alright, so the total that I need is 7,200, and yeah, that's the way I use the spreadsheet when I want to invest in dividends. Okay, so for me, if I were to invest in all these 4 companies, this is what I would need in total. Just remember, the higher the price, the more you will need to invest. Usually, like for example, Apple, I think they pay 82 cents in dividends, and their price is higher than all these stocks right here. They're about like 120, 126, somewhere. Let's find out exactly. Oh, 136. Okay, and as you can see here, their annual dividend is 82 cents. And yeah, I don't think that's a fair dividend for that company, but Apple's over here doing great things. For example, they're leaning towards wanting to get into the EV sector, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video on a good note and let you guys go ahead and play around with it. Just kind of adjust it to how you want. Go ahead and look up any dividend shares that you want to have or are thinking of getting. If you want to see how much you need to invest in total, it's a pretty useful tool. I like it quite a bit. I like playing around with it. You can always change these. For example, if I wanted to have like $500, oh, not 5T, 500, oh, that's how much you would need, how many shares, how much you would need to invest per share. I mean, yeah, well, as a whole. But yeah, this is the pretty simple way on how to use the graph. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to shoot me a message. And yeah, stay savvy, my friends. Thank you for tuning in.